Hi, Judy Saint, Pleasant Atheist. Today we're going to talk about how it's okay to not know all the answers. In fact, we used to walk around wearing these shirts. I still do sometimes, but we used to walk around in pairs wearing these shirts, several pairs in a shopping mall or a farmer's market or a county fair, anywhere where a lot of people were. Ask an atheist, what kind of questions do you think we got? I'm going to tell you, and I'll show you some other things, because you have to kind of practice that it's okay to not know answers. We're going to talk about that. Hello, welcome back. Of course, this is not an actual license plate, it's just on my iPad, but I did have this as my license plate on my 1977 Dodge Charger many years ago. And that's what it said. I had a copy of this license plate, the actual one, put up in my classroom. I used to teach high school mathematics, and I had it in my classroom up on the wall, but I would not tell the students what it meant. They would want to know. Sometimes they'd be rather insistent to know, and all I would tell them is, it's on my 1977 Dodge Charger, and if you figure it out, you'll know you're right. Well, actually, all the thousands of students who went through, about 2 figured it out. But I never told them, and what I told them when they got upset was, there's some things you're not going to know, and you have to be okay in life not knowing some things. Some things you won't know. Now, this one you can figure out, but a lot of things you will not know. So I want to talk to you about that today, that some things you don't know, some things you will not know. And that's okay. So we did walk around wearing this shirt. Where I got the idea was from a shirt I found online somewhere. This is the original. It says, Ask an Atheist, and below it says 25 cents. Here, I'll open it up so you can see that. And I bought this thinking it was so funny. Well, I actually did make a quarter. I was wearing that through an airport once, and a gentleman came over. He left his family and came over and said, how did the universe begin? And he gave me a quarter. And I told him, well, there are scientists who have their opinions, but I wasn't there. I really don't know, but I can tell you what And he stopped me right there, and he laughed. He said, I'm an atheist. I just wanted to see what you would say. Well, I tried to give him his quarter back. He said, no, you've earned your quarter. I made 25 cents from wearing that shirt. That's the only time anyone actually came up, gave me a quarter. That was fun. I didn't wear it a lot, but it gave me the idea for this shirt. So let me show you some pictures here. What we did was we would walk around, like I say, walk around in pairs. Here's a picture of one group, and we usually had I would say we usually had about 6 to 10 people each time that we would announce, maybe once a month. And then we would walk in pairs. Not 3 or 4 or 5 people at a time. That would just seem overwhelming, but just 2 people. And many times someone did come up. We also wear these just like when we have a tabling event someplace. Here's the person who actually started this with me. Her name is Laura. She's a great person. She decided on the color. I think it was a great pick. It's very visible. So we would walk around in pairs and get questions. Usually what happened was people would walk with their group past us, but they'd turn back to look at us, and I kind of kept my eye looking at everybody, and they would give us a little quick thumbs up and then hurry and catch up with their group. Some people would actually kind of say, I'm on your side. So we had a lot of people agreeing with us, but they couldn't do it out loud. They couldn't say anything out loud. Now, as for what questions we got, we did get a decent amount of questions. I would say the purpose of this was just to be visible, to let people know. Oh, in fact, that was a question they often asked. Why are you doing this? I said, well, to let people know atheists don't have horns and we're okay. We're approachable. We shop just like you shop. So today there's a page in the book that talks about not knowing things and that it's okay to not know things. We're going to just take a little piece of that today down here where we're going to color some of it in while I talk to you about that. I think I'll start by coloring the ladies' hats. And I wanted to mention that, yeah, I like orange for the hats. That's nice. Oh, I got these pens. They're pointy on one end and fat on the other end. You probably already have a set, but it was new to me. It's pretty cool. So we'll just start doing that. One of the first times I ever kind of was taken aback by people not accepting that I didn't know answers to something was, this was many years ago. I had not really studied evolution or creation, and I wasn't even an atheist, I don't think, back at that point. Or I may have been, I just didn't think I was. But I remember people would ask me about what I thought about creation versus evolution. And I would answer, I don't know. And that didn't seem to satisfy people. They were kind of weirded out that I would actually not have an opinion. And they didn't really let me have an opinion of I don't know. They wanted me to say, oh, I believe this or I believe that. But what I would say was, I just haven't studied it that much. I need to get some books. I need to see what's going on. I need to research, which I eventually did. And it wasn't hard to come to my conclusions that I don't think there was an amazing creation. I mean, that's even harder to believe than the natural selection process. Well, I think I'll do blue for the little things here. Oh, I keep opening the wrong end of these. And so that kind of struck me as, why don't they let me just say I don't know? They seem to really need me to either be on their side or on the other side, is how they saw it. You couldn't just not know. That just didn't even seem possible. So I want to talk today about how it really is usually the correct answer. In fact, if you're asked something that you don't know and you say, I don't know, you're right. You're right. That was the answer. You don't know. In fact, I have a friend who grew up in a very strict religious environment, and they were taught that there was a known answer for everything. They were taught that from being a little child, and they were expected to always know the answer, to be able to spout it off, whatever it was. And it was almost a sin to not know an answer, or at least not to respond quickly with something. And I asked her, well, when you're a little kid, what did you do if you really didn't know what to say? And she said, well, then we go to the elders and then they tell us. I said, well, what if it's something they don't know? And she kind of was taken aback, like, well, there's nothing they don't know. And then after talking about it, she realized, oh yeah, there was a lot they didn't know, but they could always make up something. They could always justify an answer. And I think a lot of us do that, not just in a religious vein, but just in general. A lot of simple questions in life, and that we always have a knee-jerk tendency to, I need to know an answer for this and I need to say something. And so we end up lots of times just saying something quickly, not stopping to think about it, maybe pretending that we really know. And we do this so subconsciously that we don't even know we're doing it. So I'm just thinking today that we could learn to stop before we say an answer, about something thoughtful that we may not be too sure of, and stop the knee-jerk reaction, because we do have that tendency. A lot of us do have a tendency just to have a knee-jerk reaction to say something quickly as if we know. Sometimes we're even pretending, and we may not even know we're pretending. It might have to do with religion and God, or might have to do with, do we have marshmallows at home? Sometimes you say, yeah, we do. I think we do. When you may not really even know. So I'm just asking us all to stop and think, what are we quick to answer for? Why do we have to answer so quickly when people ask us something? Lots of times people will tell me as an atheist that they think that I am going around so sure of myself, so arrogant with definite, firm knowledge that they say that I know there is no God. Well, no, you can't know that. That's impossible to know there's not something. Or they assume that as an atheist I'm going around firm in my knowledge of what is and what isn't. And I just wanted to share that sometimes I'll answer to that No, that's the other guys. There is a God. He loves you. It was meant to be. He's in a better place now. God has a plan for you. He's testing you. The Bible says to love everyone. Coexist, it says. Coexist is actually blasphemous in every religion. You really know there is a God. You're just denying it. So I have a challenge for us, and I challenge myself on this all the time. As I'm about to answer, if it's, not everything, like if you're asked, do you have marshmallows at home, and you know you do or don't, of course, you don't have to stop and think about that if you do not. But lots of times we don't stop and think about things. So I just want to encourage us to remember that you always can stop, and you can always ask yourself, do I really know this? Do I really know this answer? And sometimes you'll realize, no, I don't really know this answer. And that's okay. There are other things you can say. If you don't want to say, oh, I don't know, which is perfectly fine, you can say, I don't know, I'll Google it. I'll go look it up. Or I'll go ask Aunt Tanya, she would know. Or like I said with creation and evolution before, I had an answer definitely for that. I said, I haven't studied that enough yet. And that was the truth. I hadn't, and I wanted to study it more before I just started saying what I thought, because I realized that if I answered, it was just what I thought, not what I had really studied. And remember, if you say I don't know and you don't know, then you're right. You don't always have to have the answer. You don't have to pretend. There's a plan. You don't have to make things up. You don't have to justify yourself. What you can do is stop and take time for yourself and ask yourself, do I really know this? That's what we usually forget to do. You can always stop before you answer. Before you have that knee-jerk reaction to have an answer, you can stop and ask yourself, what do I really know? So there's a little discussion of just stopping and thinking before we answer very quickly. It's all part of being happier with yourself. Oh, there's that little bird. Okay, when you get this coloring book, if you do get it, I want you to notice the little bird. It's a 4-panel image, 4 panels that are almost the same with people talking in each panel. Just point out a little Easter egg here. Look for the bird. It's kind of fun. Let's see. I think I'll color this in. Thanks for coloring with me, because I do know you're there. And I appreciate that. Sometimes I hear from you. I really like that. So yeah, you can contact me anytime you want. I know I'm not really good at coloring, but I enjoy it. I also do online games when I get a chance. There's an online jigsaw puzzle that's really fun. Let's see, what is the name of that? I think it's Jigsaw Planet. I think that's the one I do. You can even upload your own photos and make them into jigsaw puzzles. So that's really fun. So when we do these videos, we're not going to color the entire picture, and I just want to pick a little tiny part of it to color with you as we talk about it. Yeah, I like that. I think I'll use the same. I'll use the same color right here. There we go. I did get myself a bigger pack of colors. So I just did the the little blue here. And if you want to skip this part, that's okay. We're just going to color and maybe chit-chat just a little bit. I've talked to you pretty much about what I wanted to. You can see this one lady saying, I don't know. There are more panels to this. It's a 4-panel page, and then there's the caption at the bottom. So we're just going to do this little part. I might have enough blue already. I think I'll put that back. I'll get the other green. Actually, when I say the other green, there are tons of other greens. Look at this big pack I got. Oh my goodness, oh lordy. I can hardly keep track of it. I think I want to go through and organize it differently than they have it. There's a very bright green. See, and I never know which end is... That's the big one, okay. So I need to put a little mark on the ends where it's... the big ones are the small ones. So anyway, we're just going to color here for a little bit. Be sure to ask me any questions you have. You can always say, we want to hear more about that class at the Juvenile Hall. That was a very interesting thing, how that happened. This is kind of bright for foliage, but that's okay. Got to be careful around these flowers. But yeah, those girls out there, they sure went crazy. They just thought it was so much fun that I said the SH word. They thought that was quite a scream. But I like to go out and talk to them about thinking for themselves. Because they get a lot of bashing from people, especially who use religion to call them bad names. And so that's why I went out there, was to counter that, so they could think better of themselves and know that all those people waggling their fingers at them don't necessarily have it right, that they shouldn't take all those bad names to heart. Okay, now I'm going to use the little, oops, put the cap on. I'm going to use the little pointy end to go around these little things. And they responded very well to listening to not just science, but just reason and thinking better of themselves. And when I told them once, I said, do you know why I come out here? And I had been coming out for a while. I said, because it was in context. I said, because of what other people are telling you about yourselves, that you don't have to believe it. Boy, they took that to heart. There we go. Do all the little dainty work. Yeah. So I like what my older brother told me when I couldn't do a wheel. I couldn't do a circle for a wheel of a wagon I was trying to paint. Oh no, that adds character. Yay. You can do that for everything. If you mess up something, just say, oh no, I'm just adding character. It's my personality to forget what I went to the grocery store for. That's who I am. Let's see. Looking for a brown to do these. There we go. We had a whole team of ladies that went out to that Juvenile Hall. I guess there were probably about 6 of us who rotated. I started it off, but then others would go out sometimes. Oh, there's a little green. I think I'll pick up that little green. See, I never know if it's the pointy end or the fat end. There we go. Let's see, I guess the rocks would be what, gray? I would like it if you'd send me samples of yours. You could maybe take a picture with your cell phone and attach it in an email. That would be fun. 'Cause I take them sometimes and put them up on the website. Oh, this one is coming out okay. I think I'll give some orange to this chair. Okay, well, I think I'm about done recording my coloring. I'll do some more coloring on my own, and you will too. Oh, I can use purple on it. I was thinking, where else can I use this purple? Oh, more flowers. Do that before I go. If you have any questions, you can always email questions to me. Haha, that's funny, of course. Did you think the same as I thought when I said that? If I don't know the answer, I can just say I don't know. Oh, just one more thing. Please get here. And if I don't know the answer, I will say I don't know. Oh well, that's enough for right now. Okay, thanks for coloring with me. We'll color this offline together, and I will see you next time. Judy Saint, The Pleasant Atheist. The Pleasant Atheist Adult Coloring Book. That's the book we're all about, while we talk about things pertinent to living a life without supernatural belief. Thanks for joining me.